Hello, hello. So, welcome to Storytime with Jay. And today I am going to dive into a book that I've yet to read. It's called Letting Go. Um, and it's The Pathway of Surrender by David R. Hawkins, MD. He's actually a brilliant author, and I have read several of his books. He makes things difficult things to understand better. And I was trying to decide what chapter to read. And so I'm actually going to jump a little bit. I'm going to read a section on the scale of emotions because I find that fascinating to think about vibe. Because in today's world, we talk about staying high vibe in order to bring like to manifest into our life or to bring things that we want to stay high vibe. But what does that actually mean? And what sort of emotions do we have? So let's dive in to Letting Go by David Hawkins. And I'm just going to start with the scale of emotions. And I'm just going to read to you the basic scale. It's quite fascinating. Um, Okay, where do I start from? Here's the basic scale of emotions, starting from the higher energies down to the lower energies. The highest level of energy at 600, I don't know what 600 stands for, 600 units. Um, Let me just see if I can see what that is. Anyway, 600. So this is experienced as perfection, bliss, effortlessness, and oneness. It is a state of non-duality beyond separateness and beyond the intellect. As the peace that passeth all understanding, it is described as illumination and enlightenment. It is rare in the human realm. Oh, I want more peace. The next vibe and emotion down on the list is that of joy. Love that is unconditional and unchanging, despite circumstances and actions of others. The world is illuminated by exquisite beauty, whereas seen in all things. The perfection of creation is self-evident. There is closeness to the unity and discovery of self, compassion for all, enormous patience, the feeling at oneness with others and a concern for their happiness. A sense of self completion and self sufficiency prevails. The next one down is love, and that's at 500. A way of being that is forgiving, nurturing, and supportive. It does not proceed from the mind, rather, it emanates from the heart. Love focuses on the essence of a situation, not the details. It deals with wholes, not particulars. As perception is replaced with vision, it takes no position and sees the intrinsic value and lovability of all that exists. Next one down is reason. That's at 400. This aspect differentiates humans from the animal world. There is the ability to see things in the abstract, to conceptualize, to be objective, and to make rapid and correct decisions. Its enormous utility is problem solving. Science, philosophy, medicine, and logic are all representations of this level. The next one down at 350 is acceptance. This energy is easygoing, laid back, harmonious, flexible, inclusive, and free of inner resistance. Life is good. You and I are good. I feel connected. It meets life on life's terms. There is no need to blame others or blame life. Next one is 310, and that's willingness. This energy subserves survival by the virtue of a positive attitude that welcomes all expressions of life. It's friendly, helpful, wants to assist, and seeks to be of service. The next one is neutrality, which is 250. And this is the way of life that is comfortable, pragmatic, and relatively free of emotionality. It's okay either way. It's free of rigid positions, non judgmental, and non competitive. And now we're getting a bit lower on the vibe scale. Next one is courage. This energy says, I can do it. It's determined, excited, about life, productive. It's productive, independent, and self-empowered. Effective action is possible. Then we have pride, 175. My way is the best way, says this level. Its focus is achievement, desire for recognition, specialness, perfectionism. It feels better than, superior to others. Next one down, 150, comes anger. Wrong section. This energy overcomes the source of fear by force, threats, and attack. It's irritable, explosive, bitter, volatile, and resentful. It likes to get even, and I'll show you. Next level is 125, and that is desire. It's always seeking gain, acquisition, pleasure, and getting something outside oneself. It's insatiable, never satisfied, and craving. I have to have it. Give me what I want and give it to me now. Next one down, is fear, and that's at level 100. This energy sees danger, which is everywhere. It's avoidant, defensive, preoccupied with security, possessive of others, jealous, restless, anxious, and vigilant. Next level down is grief, 75. There is helplessness, despair, loss, regret, and the feeling, if only I had whatever it is. Separation, depression, sadness, being a loser, mournful, as in I can't go on. Next level down, 50, is apathy. This energy is characterized by hopelessness, playing dead, feeling a drain to others, being immobilized, and the feelings I can't and who cares, poverty in common. And finally, not finally, second last, is guilt at 30. In this energy field, one wants to punish and be punished. It leads to self-rejection, masochism, remorse, feeling bad, and self-sabotage. It's all my fault. Accident proneness, suicidal behavior, and projection of self-hatred onto evil others are common. It's the basis of many psychosomatic illnesses. And finally, at the lowest level is shame, and that comes in at 20. Characterized by humiliation, as in the hanging your head in shame, it is traditionally accompanied by banishment. It's self-destructive to health and leads to cruelty towards self and others. In general, we can say that the lower end of the scale is associated with lower vibrational frequencies, lower energy, lower power, poorer life circumstances, poorer relationships, less abundance, self-love. And as we let go of these negative feelings, there is a progressive movement up the scale. Courage is where it changes. Courage is when we can seek to go beyond. Courage with increasing effectiveness, success, and more effortless abundance. We tend to seek out such people, and they say that they are high. They give off life energy to all living things around them. Animals are attracted to them. They have a green thumb and a positive influence on the lives of whom they come in contact. At the level of courage, the negative feelings have not all disappeared, but we now have sufficient energy to handle them because we've re-owned our power and self-adequacy. The fastest way to move from the bottom of the top is by telling the truth to ourselves and to others. The energy levels are also traditionally associated with the body energy centers that are sometimes referred to as chakras. The chakras are energy centers through which Kundalini energy is said to flow. Once it's awakened at the level of courage, which is 200, the energy centers, the chakras, can be measured by a variety of clinical techniques and sensitive electronic instruments. On the map of consciousness, the chakras calibrate as follows. Crown, which is 600. And let me just go back and remind us what is 600. 600 is peace. Then the third eye is 525, which is between love and joy. And then we have the throat, which is 350 at acceptance. The heart at 505, which is just over love. Then we have the solar plexus, which is 275, which is just a little bit above being neutral. And the sacral or spleen, again, is 275 as well. And the root chakra is where courage begins. So it's a matter of embracing that and knowing that when you're down at those lower vibes, we can change it by accessing those higher vibes. How fascinating. I hadn't sort of considered. When we relinquish negative feelings, the energy in our higher chakras increases. For instance, instead of habitually venting our spleen or our second chakra, we are now described as all heart, our fifth chakra. This energy system has a direct impact on the physical body. The energy in each chakra flows out through the channels called meridians to the whole energy body, which is like a blueprint to the physical body. And each meridian is associated with a particular organ, and each organ is associated with a particular emotion. A negative emotion throws off the energy balance of its associated acupuncture meridian and related organ. For instance, depression, despair, and melancholy are associated with the liver meridian. So these emotions tend to interfere with liver function, and every negative feeling impairs a body organ. And as the years go by, that organ becomes diseased and eventually fails to function. The lower our emotional state, the more negatively we influence not only our own lives, but also of all life around us. The higher the emotional level of evolution, the more positive our lives become on all levels, and we support all life around us, which is pretty damn amazing, just saying. As negative emotions are acknowledged and surrendered, we get freer and we move up the scale, eventually experiencing predominantly positive feelings. All lower emotions are limitations and bind us to the reality of our true self. And as we surrender our way up the scale and near the top, a new type of experience begins to happen. At the very top of the scale, there occurs a realization of one's true self and the varying levels of illumination. The main importance of this is to note that as we get higher and freer, what the world calls spiritual awareness, intuition, and the growth of consciousness occur. And this is the common experience of all who surrender their negative feelings. They become more and more conscious. And that which is impossible to see or experience at lower levels of consciousness becomes self evident and stunningly obvious at higher levels. Wow. Thank you, Dr. David Hawkins. That's all I'm going to read for that book. But if you'd like to know more, I would get yourself a copy.